Hello and welcome to Winter Disco Tabletop Gaming, and as soon as I start recording, they're doing work in one of the apartments nearby. But we do have today's Games Workshop pre-orders for the 22nd of August 2020, and yes, that drilling is there. I'm not stopping because I've got to get this done. I'm about to head out the door. So we have a few Necromunda releases today for pre-order, some new Bloodbowl releases. So we've got the new Snotlings coming out. Oh, look, they're pretty cute. I like them. And we also have some new Aeronautica. So let's have a look first. So first of all, we do have the House of Blades book, hardback, $78. It is, as usual, just doing Australian prices. Because the other US, UK, everywhere else isn't out at the moment, except New Zealand. And I'm not checking New Zealand. So House of Blades is 128 pages. You get a ton of different rules. So 6 different new fighters, like the queens, matriarchs, death maidens, wild runners, sisters, and little sisters. And I don't think they've really talked about what the sisters and little sisters are. Unless I've missed something, that's kind of cool. You also get a lot of background, the new rules for the gang list. So if you are going to run an Escher gang, definitely get this book because you have the full new rules on how to run the gang. Get some more rules for hangers-on and brutes. Some more hired guns, so rules for using bounty hunters, house agents, and hive scum. And hive scum's always pretty cool. All about the different guilds and houses that they're associated with. A whole bunch of different rules and some more weapons and a few other unique characters. So yes, I'm very keen for it. I'm actually really keen. I do have a copy of the House of whatever the Goliath one is. It doesn't actually say down there, but yeah, I'm keen for it. I think it's going to be kind of cool. I really think House Escher is one of the more interesting gangs from Necromunda. So $78 for the book of that. And you can get a PDF version, but it's about the same price. Then we have the models. So you get the Escher Death Maidens and Wyld Runners box for $74. So you get 2 Death Maidens, 4 Wyld Runners, and 4 of the Phalanx, I think they're called. Yeah, the Phalanx, whatever they're called. Yeah, I think it's a good kit. Let's get a closer look at them. So we've got the full models. You would have seen this image already. And then we've got the more close-up images. So let's get this one out there. It's kind of cool. I do love the hair. Very dynamic pose. One of the Wyld Runners with the bow, which I think is kind of cool. I like how they've got some more archaic, but also techno-y type weapons. I really like that. So let's have a look at some closer images. So just some more close-ups, nothing you haven't seen before. And the sprue. I think this all comes on the one sprue. I'm not 100% sure on that. This is the first time I'm looking at the sprue. Because we've got the 2 hairs for the Death Maidens, the head, the bow and the whip for the Wyld Runners, bits of the Phalanx. So I think it's all a single sprue. So that's kind of cool. I'm going to see if the rules come in. I don't think the rules will come in the box. And they actually come in Necromunda bases, which is really cool. Just looking through. Yeah, no rules. That will be... Yeah, there it is. Rules for models will be in the House of Blades. So $74 for that. I like it. I think there's some really cool models in there. I don't particularly care for the Phalanx, but that's what you get. Then we've got the tactic cards. So 26 cards, and then 18 gang specific, and 8 blank fighter cards. Each to your own, if you want to get that. I don't have the actual cards, so I don't know what's on them, but that's $27 Australian. Then we got dice, so yellow dice for $28. As usual, GW's dice are expensive, but you do need specific dice for Necromunda. You don't need them, but I actually do like the colour, the yellow and purple, and then the House Escher symbol in them. That's really cool, so $28 for that one. Then we have the Slave Ogryns gang. So 6 models for $140. Let that soak in. Yeah, $140 for 6 models. Yes, they are big brutes, and they are really cool. But at the same time, I think they do come in 2 sprues by the looks of it. It looks like you've only got 2 bodies on here, which makes sense. So actually you get 3 of these sprues by the looks of it. So you get 2 on each, because that's $140 for 6. So you get a whole bunch of options to build them out. And you also can get 2 for $70. So you're better off getting the box of 6 for $140 opposed to this one. This is basically the same models. But if you only wanted to, spend $70 and get it. I kind of was hoping this was going to be cheaper. But when you go off the size of them compared to normal characters for 40k, characters usually range from about $50 to $70. So, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, 140 for 6 or 70 for 40. And let's get a look at some of the graphics there. Nice little ugly face there. I like them. I'm not excited about that price. I think that price is a bit too much. I mean, they're really cool models. I love the gloves. That's just super cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. And I do think these are ripe for orc conversions. There's a lot of bits on there that orcs can use. So I think that'll be really cool. Then you got the Slave Ogryn. I keep saying Ogryn, but it's actually Ogryn because they're essentially ogres. That's the idea. So then you got the cards for 27. And I think we have dice as well, but maybe not. Then we have the Open Hive War card pack. So you get perils, objective, loot, and deployment. So it's just basically how to randomly generate a match. Pretty straightforward. Don't need to go too much into that, but that's $43. Then you get the Zone Mortalis gang tactics. So 26 cards in here, and each gang can access all of them. So that's 27. So this is already if you have the Dark Uprising kit with that terrain, because I'm assuming that would work with it, because that is Zone Mortalis terrain. So $27 for that one. We'd have the House of Chains dice. So I'm not sure why they've only released it now, but $28. So this is for the Goliath Gangs. Nice looking dice. Again, do you need them? No. You would have the dice if you got the box already. So each to their own. $28 for that. Now let's get on to the Bloodbowl. We have the new edition of the Spike Journal, number 10 for $25. So this will have all the rules for Snotlings, a whole bunch of other stuff. So you get like star players that you can use, and probably some other rules as well. So, you know, it is what it is. If you play Blood Bowl, you'll probably want to pick it up simply because the Snotlings are super cute. So $25 for that. And let's have a look at the Snotlings. Oh no, we got the board first. So you get the new Snotling pitch and dugout set. I like the pitches. I love how you do get different boards. I think they're really cute, really cool, particularly for Snotlings. How it's just all green and gross and mushrooms everywhere. Let's see if we can get a better image here. Yeah, there we go. So you can see what the mushrooms look like. It's sort of a mud pit with mushrooms. So that's $78. So you get a double-sided board and I think 2 dugouts. And you get special rules with this too, which is interesting. Yeah, not too bad. So $78. Again, it's just cardboard and it's not something you need. Now for the Snotling gang warband, no team. I'm getting all my games mixed up. $74. And you get a ton of models in here. I don't actually really know how many you get. But we'll have a look in a second. We'll just go through, have a look, get some close-ups of the wagon. I do love the wagon. Because if they're legally allowed to use that in the game, that's ridiculous. We won't go through more of the models, but you get some close-up views here. All those little Snotling faces. I love it. And the sprues, yeah, it's Snotlings. You got bodies and heads. Stick them on. I think it's cool. You can do some really cool stuff with that, and some cool bits for the wagon as well. And then we got some box art. So there's 20 models in there. So, you know, I think that's cool. I think you could do some really cool stuff with that, particularly for 40k. Get them, and they'd be posing as Gretchen. I think they're a little bit smaller than Gretchen, but, well, maybe about the right size. But you can do some cool stuff there. So $74 for the Crud Creek Nose Pickers. I love a bit of Blood Bowl. And then we've got the dice for Blood Bowl. $20. So it's really strange, cheaper for these dice. Even though you've got different dice sizes, when you've got to pay $28 for basically D6 dices. I don't make up the prices, so I've got no idea. It's a bit strange to me sometimes. Now we have some new fighters, some new Imperial Fighters for Aeronautica. So we have the Avenger Strike Fighters. They look pretty cool. So you get 4 for $74. I do like the models. I do really want to buy some. And the more of these models they release, the more hope I get for Epic 40k to come back. I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. Yeah, so ships. I think that's a cool design. It's not the usual. The wings are flat. It's got a little dip in it with the engines there, with some like big guns on there, some las cannons, some rockets and things like that. I think that's really cool. So yeah, definitely get 4 in there. So you get 8 auto cannons, 8 las cannons, 8 hellstrike missiles, 8 sky strike missiles, and you get the bases and a transfer sheet. And I really do like the transfer sheets, actually. I'm keen to get hold of some of those and use them for some other things. I think that'd be really cool. All right, let's move on, because we're already at 10 minutes in this recording. There are actually a lot of releases this week. So we have some new Middle-earth strategy battle game. We have Aeomir, Marshal of the Rider Mark. So you get 2 models here for $55. I actually don't mind the design. I'm always a bit hesitant about the Middle-earth designs. I don't know. Something about the faces never really seems to fit with me. It just doesn't sit right. But this face looks actually really good. Don't know about this one with his giant teeth, but that's all right. I mean, I do love the design of a lot of them. It's a lot simple compared to Warhammer 40k, but that's basically what it is. There's not much you can do about it. Oh, and there's a version with a helmet. So there might be a few different variations in this. So let's go down and have a look. So it comes with 27 components, which is pretty good. So you get the horse version. So both models feature options for a helmeted or unhelmeted head, as well as a choice of throwing spear or sword in one hand, either a shield or a helmet in the other. So you can have a fair bit of bits left over. So it's cool if you buy this and you want the models, you can have some bits, like bare heads and helmeted heads and things like that. So that's really cool. So that is $55 for Hero, which is, I think, when I compare it to 40k and Warhammer characters, this is pretty good value. You're basically getting 2 models for the price of 1. So, and yeah, you can only really use them 1 at a time, but I like that price point for it, 55 Australian for 2 models. That's kind of cool. Then we have a new book. It has the Best of the White Dwarf magazine. So it's got 21 battle reports and a whole bunch of articles from 2001 to 2019. And there we can see 128 pages. It has all articles that you can, if you're a bit tricksy, you can find them all online. But you can get them all in a single book, which, if you are a fan of the Middle-earth strategy game, why not? They get a whole bunch of stuff in there to give you an idea of what's going on in there. All right, let's continue on. Now we have some books. I'm not going to focus on the books too much, but just going to tell you what there is. There is No Good Men, which is a 40k Warhammer crime anthology. So it has 7 short stories in there. $20 paperback. We also have Farsight for you Tower lovers out there. This is book 2 of the Farsight series, Empire of Lies, out in paperback now from Phil Kelly. That's $20. We also have Oaths and Conquests, which is 13 short stories from Age of Sigmar for $20. So probably a pretty good read in there. And then we have Watchers of the Throne, the Regent Shadow, the paperback version of that. So this is Watchers of the Throne, book 2 from Chris Wright. Okay, that's all we have. And this is one longer than usual, but we had a few things to go through while they are hammering in next door. Hopefully the noise isn't too bad. So I like the Necromunda releases. I'm a bit disappointed by the prices of the Ogryns. The House of Blade stuff, I think that's fine. If we go back to the main thing, $78. Yeah, it's starting to get pricey, but I think that's the amount that they're going to be at. I expect the 40k codexes to be about that amount as well. Usually they were 70, but I think new edition, they're putting the prices up. So $78 for that one. $74 for the Escher Death Maidens and Wyld Runners. I think that's cool. I like it. And then we have the Slave Ogryns for $140. Expensive. Yeah, I'm dubious. I don't know. I was hoping to pick up the 2 one for $70, but I'm not going to do that. And of course you have the Snotlings and a whole bunch of other stuff. But I'm going to wrap this video up because it's about 15 minutes now. If you have enjoyed these videos, please do subscribe and click that bell button so you can get all notifications, because we do this weekly. And tell me in the comments below, what are your favorite models? Like I said, I think the Death Maidens and Wyld Runners and the Ogryns. There we go, done. And thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.